The shir is being given to Zecha Nishmas Rachaleya Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. We have been exploring in the last number of shiurim different madregos of Nevuah, and then we specifically honed in and zeroed in on the particular madrega of Moshe Rabbeinu, Adon HaNeviim. Lo kam bi Yisrael k'Moshe od, Naviu mabit es t'munaso. We noted that madrega of Moshe Rabbeinu was dafka achieved at Har Sinai. We mentioned that the Torah speaks about the concept of emunah that Klal Yisrael had at the very beginning of Pasha Shmos, Bayamin Ha'am, and then a bit later, right before Kriyas Yamsuf, the Torah again underscores the emunah that Klal Yisrael had in Moshe Rabbeinu and in Hashem Yisbarach. The pasuk there says, "Vayar Yisrael Sayel Agdola Asher Asa Hashem b'Mitzrayim, Vayiru Ha'am Es Hashem, V'Yaminu B'Hashem Moshe Abdo." They believed in Moshe Rabbeinu and in Moshe his servant. The Targum Onkelos there comments with Moshe Abdo in the Nevuah of Moshe Rabbeinu his Eved. So we see already that Moshe Rabbeinu had achieved the level of Nevuah at that point in time. However, the Rambam writes in Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah that the ultimate emunah of Klal Yisrael, the Nevuah of Moshe Rabbeinu, was achieved at Har Sinai. Because there we saw Hashem Yisbarach in all of His glory, and there all of Klal Yisrael heard, all of Klal Yisrael saw, and the Rambam writes that's an emunah which is based on not Osas Umovsim found earlier in Shmos and B'Shalach, but rather an emunah she omedes la'olam, an emunah that cannot be misconstrued, that cannot be distorted, that cannot be misinterpreted, an emunah that's not based on the fundamentals of Osas Umovsim, but rather one that is based on 600,000 plus members of Klal Yisrael who witnessed a spectacular event and heard the Keilos Ubrakim, the Kol Shofar Chazak Me'ed. That Har Sinai became the barometer, became the very epicenter of the emunah of Klal Yisrael. And we mentioned last year the distinction between an emunah that's founded upon Osas and Mosim that can be understood as being related to necromancy or kishuf, sorcery and witchcraft, as opposed to an emunah that's based on Har Sinai. The centrality of Har Sinai experience is one that we would like to examine a bit more carefully in the course of the shir, and we'll begin by reading the psukim that are found in the two major parshas that describe Har Sinai, that is to say, in Parshas Va'eschanan, and of course we have as well the parsha in Yisrael, the parsha in Shemais. And the descriptions that are found in these two parshas are somewhat different one from the other, and one of the very beautiful and intricate issues that's discussed both in Chazal as well as by Rishonim, the necessity for two descriptions of Har Sinai, and one can actually sense when one reads the psukim what exactly the distinction is. We'll begin by reading the psukim in Parshas Va'eschanan, in Perek Daled of Parshas Va'eschanan. The Torah tells us, we'll start from Pasuk Tes, Raki shomer lecha u'shmor nafshecha ma'od pen tishkach es hadvarim asher ra'u einecha u'fen yasu mevavecha kol yimei chayecha v'odatam levanecha v'livnei vanecha. And we'll see that this pasuk is the makar for a well-known position of the Ramban, the obligation to transmit the experience of Har Sinai, of Matan Torah, to all future generations, l'dorei doros. And as well, you have not only a positive commandment, but you also have a negative commandment. The Ramban writes on the spot over there in Dvarim Perek Daled Pasuk Tes in Va'eschanan. Ramban says the following: we have a negative commandment. The Ramban says, "Here's here b'ma'od." Ki kasher Amar, when the Torah earlier said, "Shenizoher b'chol hamitzvos v'nishmar achukim v'mishpatim la'asosam," that one should observe all the chukim and mishpatim. The chazav yamar, and then the Torah goes on to say, "Bakani mazhircha ma'od." I'm being very careful with you. Lehishamer v'lishma atzmecha me'ed me'ed. Liskor me'ayin bo elecha mitzvos. You should remember the source of all these mitzvahs. Shelo tishkach maimed Har Sinai mikol hadvarim asher ra'u sham. To not forget that unforgettable experience of maimed Har Sinai, where you saw kolos lapidim, kvoidav yesgado, udvar asher shamata sham mitoch ha'esh. The divrei Hashem that you heard from a context of fire. V'tzodia kol hadvarim asher ra'u einecha, and you should pass on all that which you saw. The obligation to transmit this